the core of the 2019 QX50 is the world's first-generation variable pressure motor, whose essential idea was portrayed 20 years prior, said Nissan's boss powertrain design, Shinichi Kiga. It took us that long to get the math right. Ostensibly a turbocharged 2.0-liter four-chamber, its gathering trap is the way that the pressure proportion can change somewhere in the range of 8:1 to 14:1, mechanically. That basically gives the VC turbo an unendingly factor-burning chamber measure, which can be enhanced for power or mileage. The motor can work at low pressure proportions perfect for a turbo-helped burst of energy, yet change without interference to a high pressure proportion for greatest productivity without the risk of predetonation thumping. In a customary motor with a settled pressure proportion, it's a bargain between the two. The outcome is 268 torque at 5,600 revolutions per minute, which is lower than the active 3.7-liter V6's 325 horsepower at 7,000 revolutions per minute, yet top power comes prior. More to the point, the VC turbo creates 280 pounds-to-foot of torque at an insignificant 1,600 revolutions per minute, besting the V6's 267 pounds-to-foot at 5,200 revolutions per minute. That is significantly more usable snort, even as it tastes 35% less fuel, 27 miles for every gallon versus the V6's 20 miles per gallon. The way to the VC turbo is a novel bit of building called the multi-link, which Kiga, an old-school motorhead, bore with him amid our whole meeting session. Unassuming in both name and appearance, the metal rhombus interfaces the regular cylinder associating pole to the crankshaft to a lower bar joint to an actuator arm. To fluctuate the pressure proportion, a Symphonious drive pivots the arm, which thus changes the point of the multi-link, which abbreviates or extends the separation the cylinder voyages. It's entirely difficult to envision. It nearly appears a pity, at that point, this stunning innovation will go totally unnoticed by its most punctual adopters. Of course, that is somewhat the point, as Infiniti has bent over backward to coordinate the VC turbo consistently into the QX50. There's no trace of the pressure proportion changing, only a torquey murmur when you pound the quickening agent. North of 4,500 revolutions per minute, it even copies the murmur of an Elite 4-banger, much the same as a very much tuned Honda process from the 1990s. Indeed, the main hint to something extraordinary in the engine is a computerized meter in the instrument unit decreasing too many years of improvement to an advertising cordial power versus eco mode show. Past the motor, the QX50 offers little important to the motoring devotee. Its overboosted steer-by-wire framework is horrendously light. Give the wheel a generous flick, and watch it turn as though you're going after a dinette set on the Price is Right Showcase Showdown. Indeed, even in sport mode, it offers little criticism, only an obscure veer in the general course you've shown. Coordinated with a delicately sprung suspension, the driving knowledge is all the more a drifting background. In cornering, you can feel its mass moving fumblingly as it shows a general hesitance to hustle. Where the skeleton sparkles is in its capacity to retain surface inconsistencies, padding tenants from even the scarcest on-street projections. It's calmer than a casing as well, a combo that is certain to put any little ones to rest, if not the driver. It's most likely something to be thankful for, at that point, that the QX50 is the main Infiniti to accompany Nissan's ProPilot Assist suite of well-being highlights and helped driving capacities, a finalist for our Tech of the Year grant this year, by chance. It incorporates forward crisis braking, beeps and haptics to caution you of path flight, and reinforcement impact intercession. With the push of the ProPilot catch, the QX50 can secure onto the vehicle front, keeping up a set separation and keeping itself focused in the path. It resembles you're being pulled along by a tractor shaft, and appears to fill in insofar as there are lines in the street. Notwithstanding, the way that you need to float your palms on the wheel with a semi-free grasp, the framework searches for slight torque readings as the directing wheel turns underneath your fingers and booms a caution on the off chance that you lift your hands totally, is more tiring than really guiding the auto yourself. In unpredictable rush hour gridlock, however, the take-after capacity gives you a chance to keep your feet off the pedals. What the QX50 is, at that point, is exceedingly agreeable for travelers. Infiniti says it's the finest inside it has ever made, and we can't discover motivation to oppose this idea. It's extravagantly named, with flexible cowhide surfaces and charming natural bends all through. The discretionary 16-speaker Bose sound framework offers a delightful sound-related understanding. Wonderfully so, seats support inhabitants agreeably and situate cooling fans carry out their activity viably. It's right around an absurd level of solace, with surfaces contain cowhide, wood, brushed aluminum and no less than 2 shades of softened cowhide. Raisel groom increments to 38.7 inches, a hop of more than 3 creeps from the past QX50. The second line slides, as well, so you can relax back while appreciating the view out of a heavenly all-encompassing rooftop. Payload limit behind the second column grows from 18.6 cubic feet to 31.1 cubic feet, 65.1 with the seats collapsed down. This, regardless of the way that the QX50 is 2 inches shorter generally speaking than its ancestor. Infiniti has demonstrated it can manufacture a really lively hybrid when it needs to. In another life, the VC turbo may even be the perfect motor for such an auto. It most likely goes too far to state that the motor is squandered on the QX50. All things considered, what better approach to test its genuine backbone than with purchasers searching only for a sluggish, bother-free driving background? Once the innovation is demonstrated, at that point maybe the venture will pay off as it permeates to different Nissans.